Today I am talking about the 5 reasons why I believe the office is not dead just yet. Alright guys, welcome back to another video on real estate investing from myself, Gavin J. Gallagher. I've been reading a lot of news articles about the demise of the office, that the workplace is coming to an end, that work from home is going to take over and that nobody's going to be working in offices anymore.
And the office, millions of square feet of office buildings all around the world and cities all around the world are going to have to be converted into apartment buildings.
I don't buy it. Let's start with a confession. I am in the office development, office investment, office operation. I rent offices. I do all this kind of stuff. This is how I earn my living. And therefore, there is a little bit of a chance that I might be just that bit biased in favor of the office. But hear me out. So let's go over the functions that the office actually serves. And I'm going to go through what I call the 5 C's of the office. Number 1, communication. Number 2, concentration. Number 3, collaboration. Number 4, connection. Number 5 is community. And we could slip in a 6th, which is corporate culture. All right, so let's get into communication. For decades, if not centuries, workers have assembled at a place of work so that they can be given instructions by their employers. But then in the 80s and 90s, along came the personal computer, and we started to get technology that actually freed up people to communicate without having to see each other face to face. Then along came Skype, Zoom, Teams, WebEx, Google Hangouts. There are so many different platforms out there now that you can basically work from anywhere in the world, but that was just a theory. People didn't actually practice it. And it wasn't until 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic drove us into lockdown, that organizations and managers started to realize this work from home thing is actually possible. You can simply switch on your Zoom and you're basically at the office. So it seems to me that the work from home side of the debate has it in this case. So I'm going to give 1 point to the work from home crowd and 0 to the office crowd. Number 2 is concentration, and that is the ability to simply close your door, create some quiet space. Concentration is critical to good productivity and workflow. Now, ask anybody who has children who was working from home during the lockdowns, did they find it easy to concentrate? Speaking from my own experience, I can say with 5 kids, it is pretty much impossible to concentrate when you're working from home. People who live alone or don't have children may disagree, and certainly if you have a good home office or study, then things could be different for you. So this is going to be a hotly debated one. And so because of those opposing forces, I'm going to give a 0.5 point to the work from home crowd and a 0.5 point to the office crowd. The 3rd C is collaboration. And this is an important one, and one that the office wins out on every time. With so many people these days working for tech companies and involved in creative campaigns and all of that kind of thing, collaboration is becoming a key part of their work. But collaboration through virtual means and collaboration face-to-face are 2 very different things. Sure, you can meet people virtually and you can have an effective meeting, but when we're talking about brainstorming, innovation, creative campaigns, anything that involves a lot of to and fro between different people, that's when virtual breaks down. And this isn't just my personal opinion. A lot of the big tech companies have said that their innovation and their ability to collaborate has suffered since the lockdown. And so for this reason, I'm going to assign 1 point to the office crowd, 0 to work from home. Okay, so number 4, we're talking about connection. And by this, I mean human connection. Since the pandemic, everyone has been affected. Even my kids want to go back to school. I mean, imagine that. And our parents over a certain age that are considered to be vulnerable to COVID-19 have been living in isolation for months now. So it's been really tough for elderly people, but the same actually also applies for any employee or staff member that normally goes to an office. Those people are missing out now on the camaraderie, just the social interaction that they used to have with their workmates. And then when the first lockdown happened, everything was new to everybody. I think a lot of people didn't miss the commute to work in the morning, and they kind of thought to themselves, this is something I can get used to. But it's now, after a year of this, that we're seeing people wanting to get back to the office, wanting to get back to what we call normality. Clearly, it's impacting people not just socially, but from a mental health point of view and also professionally. New employees have oftentimes never met a single other employee in their new place of work. The onboarding process that would normally be carried out face to face has been done over virtual means, and so this has taken much longer than it would. And professional firms in particular have been feeling this. Normally they would employ a graduate, and the graduate would shadow somebody who is much more senior. Hearing how an experienced co-worker deals with difficult clients' problems, graduates are really missing out. So definitely connection is going to suffer. So for this one, the office gets 1 point and work from home gets 0. And finally, number 5, we're getting into community. This is something I've seen a lot here in my place of work. I work at a business park where there is lots of big multinational firms that have thousands of employees. They are in a war for talent. They're trying to recruit and retain the best talent for their businesses. Community is a major reason why talent remains in your business or wants to move to your business. And of course, connection and community are very closely interlinked. It's hard to build one without the other. It's for this reason that even with the tools we have at our hands today, like Zoom meetings and social media and all of this kind of stuff, as soon as the lockdowns were finished, what did everyone do? They all congregate in one location. Bars, restaurants, if it's spring break, everyone's going to the beach. There's a reason for that, and it's nothing to do with virtual connection or virtual communities. Physical, face-to-face presence builds connection and builds community, and for that reason, the office is always going to win out over work from home. 1 point to the office crowd, 0 points to work from home. And so the final tally, guys, 1.5 to the work from home crowd, 3.5 to the office crowd. Having said all of that, I don't think we're going back to the office as it was. In my opinion, co-working spaces are going to do really well after the pandemic, and I don't think organizations are going to need as many fixed rows of desks as they did in the past. Work from home, communication from home is going to become the norm, but offices are going to be required better social areas, gyms, things that pull people into the office, and that's going to be built around community and connection. Of course, guys, what do I know? Maybe I'm completely biased and I'm looking at this all wrong. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And in the off chance that I am totally wrong, maybe my career as a YouTuber is what I should be focusing on. So help me out by giving us a like and hitting subscribe down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you in the next one. Writing to people, all that kind of stuff. Why do I drift off? I'm going crazy. And four, we're talking. Okay, so number 4. Okay, so number 4, we're talking painful. What the fuck am I saying?